Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is JP the Outlaw, here to give you WWE news and rumors on a subject that I wanted to touch on last week, but I didn't have the time to do it. So I'm here now giving you that review on JBL leaving the WWE announce table and being replaced. My full expectations of it and who replaced him as far as of now, like up until this point, like from last week to here. Also John Cena and Roman Reigns promo shoot, both of them. I will discuss both of them, the first one and the second one, which one was better, and also is it better than the CM Punk pipe bomb from way back in 2011. One more storyline that we'll go over today is Kurt Angle's thoughts on what the Jason Jordan storyline is missing. That and plus we'll probably be back later today with more news and rumors. But other than that, I want to talk on these couple of subjects here. Let's start it off with JBL. JBL's getting replaced on the announce desk. Was announced last Sunday or Saturday, I believe, from the Dirty Sheets. With that being said, JBL has done a subpar job on an announce team. I think he's one of the more entertaining announcers that the WWE had, compared to a Mauro Ranallo who can call play-by-play in color. So, in just dealing with those actions alone, Mauro Ranallo technically lost his job over a bullying scandal with JBL. JBL, of course, received no type of actions taken against him under the bullying statements. Plus, the WWE working with Be a Star Foundation is all bullshit, because if you allow somebody like a JBL to bully somebody like a Mauro Ranallo, and you all know Mauro Ranallo suffers from depression, that alone should not be acceptable in any type of company. So I could see where the bullying was a big issue. Thankfully, Mauro Ranallo came back and is on NXT and giving way better programming. Thank you. But JBL just not being a part of the WWE is a great thing, especially for the up-and-coming announcers. You got Percy Watkins, you got Corey Graves, Nigel McGuinness. You can even use a Steve Corino who's working in the Performance Center as far as announce teams go. But when the news first broke, I was under the impression, okay, they're going back to a two-man booth on SmackDown. They replaced JBL with my man Corey Graves, which I think was one of the best things they probably could do for WWE television. Now, of course, Todd Phillips, Baron Saxton, and Corey Graves was the old NXT announce team. So the dynamic is already there. It makes the most logical sense to move Corey Graves, to have him do both shows, SmackDown and Raw. My biggest issue moving forward is that you could have used, it really cuts the brand split to complete shit. You're not using your people appropriately as far as announcers go, because you really only need a two-man booth. You know, you could even throw Booker T back over there and have him do the play-by-play. I wouldn't have minded, okay? But keep the brand split separated. They did the same thing with Renee Young when they made all the budget cuts during the course of maybe 2 months. I, of course, didn't record or give you guys anything for last month on, SummerSlam, NXT, TakeOver, Brooklyn 3. I didn't give any reviews of anything like that, being as though I was on my vacation. But with that being said, these announcers can be utilized a little bit better, especially Corey Graves. Corey Graves could be in sit-down segments and so on and so forth. But I'm happy to see him on the SmackDown roster. I think this will be a great transition for Graves more than anybody else. And then you have Nigel McGuinness picking up the rest of the slack from Corey Graves, with him taking on Raw and SmackDown they put Nigel McGuinness on 205 Live in main event and also NXT, which tells me that they have a lot of faith in Nigel McGuinness going forward from here, because you just don't get that type of status or that type of booking as far as an announcer if they don't believe in your brand of announcing. Period. You know, I remember back in the day, the only other person that was doing multiple shit is Bobby the Brain Heenan. He was on commentary. He was managing literally 3 of the best tag teams and 2 of the best wrestlers in the world at said time. So, with that being said, Corey Graves, I feel as though, is in that very same oak, or made of that same oak, in that same position. I wouldn't mind seeing them pair Corey Graves with a in-ring talent and let Corey Graves be the voice piece for that in-ring talent. I wouldn't mind that at all. But that is my opinion of it. That's just me on the outside looking in on the WWE product, as always. But I think it's a great move. I think it's time for a change in JBL with the announced team. It's definitely time for a roster shakeup, and JBL probably moving on to work with Troubled Youth in the Troubled Youth Foundation program that he has. I think this is an all-around great move, and, you know, I wish JBL the best in his future endeavors. But, and what makes this story real sad, because from what I hear, and I believe, take this with a grain of salt, I believe this was a guerrilla position saying that the real reason why he left is all because of the airplane scheduling. Like, you know, JBL jumping from town to town, he wanted his own private jet, so on and so forth. Look, man, you make so much money, you can buy your own jet. Only thing they ask you to do is get there on time, where you have JBL coming in maybe 5-10 minutes before the show, and that's pretty much it. So, of course, they had their differences. You know, JBL took the high road. WWE did not take the low, and gave him a clean way out. But that is officially the real reason why he left. So, and this is all revealed from a week's time. So, there you go. Moving on to our next conversational piece. John Cena versus Roman Reigns in their shoot promo. Now, the original promo, let's go over this one first. The original promo was good. I would even give it great. It wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't fucking classic. It wasn't tremendously overbearing on any side. Okay? Not at all. Alright? They made it. This was a safe shoot promo. See, what Punk did back in the day, when Punk said what he said about the WWE, that hasn't been done before. That hasn't been said before. So when you do that, that catapulted Punk into where he's at now, which the WWE would literally have a hard penis if fucking Punk came back. Excuse my language. Seriously, they would literally die if CM Punk came back to the WWE, just based off that one promo that catapulted him into superstardom. And maybe even an icon level, if you want to put it that way. A modern day icon. This, what I got from Roman and Cena in this, okay, first of all, Roman comes off like a complete dickhead the very first go at it, okay? You know, he's saying the golden shovel shit with John Cena and how this has impacted multiple wrestlers over the years. But John Cena, with his very patented skill set on the mic, overwhelmingly buried Roman Reigns. And I don't mean buried in the sense of we'll never hear from Reigns again. I mean, literally whatever you thought you were doing, you should go back to the drawing board, because again, that's why I'm here. They want you to be ready, but you're not ready. You'll never be another John Cena. Now, with that being said, looking at the history of John Cena was never beloved. He was liked by the children in the room. He was loved by the kids that were coming to the WWE shows. But John Cena himself was never beloved by the backstage locker room, by the hardcore fans, people like myself that are somewhat wise to the business. So, therefore, this promo, you know, when John Cena did it with The Rock, it was better because John Cena had reached that plateau. John Cena was there. and The Rock had just came back. He was there already. I feel as though Roman Reigns, with a little bit more build, would have been there, would have been at that level to step into a microphone battle. This is just promo work. Nothing to do with in-ring talent, nothing to do with how good Roman Reigns is and how fucked up he is in the ring or whatever. Nothing to do with that. This is clearly promo. This is clearly being able to improvise and work right off the mic. I think with John Cena, you have a top tier mic ability wielding mofo. With Roman Reigns, you have a mid card mic ability. Okay, and that's good for the mid card. But when you're stepping into a match, big profile match with any megastar in the WWE, Austin, freaking The Rock, you got H, you can even throw H up in there, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman. You want to bring it. I think Samoa Joe mic skills is at that superstar level. You dig what I'm saying? If anybody else I would mention that's up there that can bring it to a person on the mic via their verbiage. So I think that this is a great promo to help build Roman. And also with Cena getting ready to take his vacation, being booked for the Bumblebee movie in a lead role, and I think a Pixar's movie, you won't be seeing much of John Cena. That's why this whole shindig has to happen at No Mercy. I feel as though you're rushing a moment that could go down in one of the greatest moments of the WWE history. You get what I'm saying? John Cena versus The Rock, the first one, was a moment that went down in history. Because this is something, that shouldn't have went down. Same thing with The Rock and Hulk Hogan. When WWE bought WCW and they bought Hulk Hogan in, the first person that they wanted him to go up against was The Rock. Or Austin. And matter of fact, I think it was building towards Austin and they went with The Rock after. But I think this would have been on that level of that. You get what I'm saying? If they booked it right. Because Roman, given both promos, could have said way more than what he said. Now, the second promo I wasn't a big fan of. Because I feel like, Roman, you came in on some dick shit. You buried Jason Jordan after him putting 20 minutes in with a John Cena. Say what you want about John Cena. But John Cena, as far as promoting talent, is pretty good at it. It's pretty good at it. Look at Kevin Owens. If you allow John Cena to bury you, that's on you. But if you can come back from a match with John Cena and come out the other end a fucking star, then good on you. Good on you. And I think the only other person on the WWE roster right now that could probably do that, maybe it's a multitude of people. Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman. I would have went with Braun Strowman versus Cena before I went with Roman versus Cena at No Mercy. Okay? Because I still feel as though Joe should have had another shot leading into No Mercy. But if you're not going to go that way, and especially given Joe's injury now being reported here on the JP show, Samoa Joe's injured with a knee injury. He'll be off TV for six weeks. 6 weeks or something like that. So with that being said, I would have definitely, you got to go back to the drawing board. But if that wouldn't have happened, I would have went with Joe. Joe was perfectly fine for that position to go up against Brock Lesnar. I would have took the title off of Lesnar just to have the title on TV. Because you bringing John Cena over here tells me two things. Either one, the title comes with Cena. And eventually the title from SmackDown will be on Raw. That's my mindset. Because again, if you're planning on booking Roman versus Brock Lesnar, having Brock Lesnar hold the title all the way until WrestleMania, you have to put a world title on Raw. It's good to have a mid-card title, and yeah, the mid-card title could close out the pay-per-view, but you don't have like a middle mid-card title like the Intercontinental title was to forgive me. The IC title was the upper to lower mid-card and heavyweight, where the freaking the